Stop. Before you hit the streets on Saturday, listen to this, please. With nationwide protests ramping up, knowing how you show up matters just as much as why you're showing up. Okay, so just look at what's happening in Los Angeles and this administration's rapid escalation to incite violence. Hola, mi gente. Hello, everyone. My name is Jannette, and welcome to another episode of When the Shift Hits. Today, we're going to be talking about something essential, and that is how to protest without giving your opponents the ammunition that they crave. And this was inspired by Zen priest, actor, and activist Peter Coyote. I saw one of his articles in social media, and it inspired me to make this video to see if we can help it reach more people before Saturday's events, because I think it's important that we remain engaged, but also that we protect ourselves. So it is with gratitude for his wisdom that I share this with you. We are exploring what it means to be both fierce and disciplined, to show up with righteous anger and also with strategy. So I'm going to do a second and third video. The second one is going to be specifically for the BIPOC community, so Black, Indigenous, and people of color, because let's face it, this system is often quicker to punish us even when we act within our rights. So I'll have some pointers for you specifically. I'll also do a third video regarding how to protect yourself digitally while protesting. So look out for those two videos because I think they're going to be very, very important. Now, here's the truth. Protests are performances, and no one understands performance more than our current lawless president. His worldview has been shaped by years in the reality television industry, where creating chaos and conflict and spectacle was not only expected, it was rewarded. So in reality TV, problems are manufactured. I hope you know this, right? For a dramatic effect. Reality TV, there's nothing real about it. The producers are, creating chaos and drama between the different characters just so that you can get more ratings because people get more invested in the drama. And then the host can just swoop in and look like the hero. So we are seeing a similar dynamic play out on a national scale. The sudden deployment of the National Guard and Marines to Los Angeles without the request from the governor and without the situation actually warranting that isn't just a tactical move, guys. It's political theater. And it positions him as the strong man, trying to control the chaos. The chaos he helped create by inciting division and by fanning the flames of unrest. It's no coincidence that this move is also coming just ahead of the nationwide No King's Day protests. So do you think this is a coinkydinky? I don't think so. He's trying to preemptively paint the protesters as threats and himself as a defender of order, when the reality is quite the opposite. Now, this is textbook authoritarian distraction. You stage a crisis, you insert yourself into the center of it, and then you hope that the public forgets that you wrote the script. And the audience isn't the cops, guys. It's not Congress. It's not even the administration. The audience is the American people. And if we scare them or we alienate them, then we lose them. And whether we want to admit it or not, we need them. We need everybody to get on board that this administration is lawless, it's not following the Constitution in any way, shape, or form, and it's on a path to authoritarianism. Now, Peter Coyote lays it out beautifully. He says that a protest is an invitation to a better world. It is a ceremony. And he says you wouldn't show up to a wedding screaming, right? You wouldn't wear riot gear to church. So you shouldn't show up to a protest looking like you're ready to throw punches. So here are 6 critical strategies for keeping yourself and your message safe, clear, and effective. Number 1, he says, let women lead. Women tend to be more inclusive and less confrontational. And historically, female-led protests are harder to discredit in the public eye. So this is not to say that men shouldn't be leading the charge. It's saying if there are women who possess leadership skills, allow them to step into those positions of leadership. Number 2, Appoint safety monitors. And actually, out of all the tips that he gave, I feel like this is one of the best ones. And that is to give the monitors yellow vests and whistles so that if provocateurs show up to stir chaos and they blow the whistle, then real protesters just know that the signal is you hear the whistle so that you let the chaos makers reveal themselves. And I think this is freaking brilliant, honestly, because there's always going to be bad actors. There's always going to be opportunists that are not there for the cause. They're there to cause trouble. They're there to loot and steal stuff and break things. And, they think that's fun. And it is those people that give the movement a bad name, So an easy way for us to protect ourselves, number one, so that law enforcement can clearly see who's creating the trouble, is to have a monitor, people that are within the group that are spotting these bad actors blow the whistle. I think that will be very, very helpful, especially to law enforcement, who, by the way, they're Americans too. So they're not the enemy. It's only if they choose to present themselves and act like enemies that we should treat them as such. They're people too. They're Americans. We love them. We care for them. They're our brothers, our sisters, our fathers, our uncles, our friends. So nothing that I'm saying here has anything to do with doing and causing harm to law enforcement. We should respect them and we should protect them if somebody's actually doing something bad to them. Okay. But this is also about self-preservation and how to make it easier for law enforcement to see who's doing the bad acts. Number 3, he says, dress like you're going to a sacred gathering. Clean, modest, respectful attire. It disarms those that are looking to villainize us, and it broadcasts integrity. And I would also add to this, cover any identifying tattoos. Don't wear attire showing where you work. Wear sunglasses, hats. Make yourselves harder to identify. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but there is a company called Palantir, and they have been hired by the government to create a master database of every American, and they are being given access to our private data information. So essentially, they have access to the IRS, to the DMV, even medical stuff, Social Security. These guys can aggregate all of that data to put us in buckets to help identify us, and this is extremely dangerous given this administration, because we can see, number one, how petty they are, but also how vindictive they are with people that disagree with them. So just make yourself harder to identify is all I'm going to say. Not because you're a bad actor. You're there to protest. You're there for a good cause. You're there to cause good trouble. I just don't want you to get in trouble for trying to do that. Okay. Number 4, he says, make it silent. Let your signs speak. Silence is powerful. Silence is discipline. Silence makes people pay attention. So, we don't need to be screaming obscenities and saying crazy stuff. This is a protest. So if people are chanting something, you join in or whatever. But the point is, silence is also quite powerful, especially when those images are shown in the media to the vast majority of Americans. So let your signs speak for you. Okay. Number 5, he says, leave when it gets dark. And I think this is another good pointer. Darkness is when things go sideways. Cops, agitators, bad actors, it's going to be hard to tell who's who. So, hey, leave as the sun's coming down, get out of there. Come back in the morning, come back the next day, rested, clean, clear-minded, ready to resume your protest, okay? But avoid getting in the mix of chaos and trouble, because at night, that's when the freaks come out. All right. He also says, number 6, carry the American flag. Claim the values of democracy. So while we have a multitude of grievances against what the government is doing, the grievances with what they're doing with Medicare and Medicaid, how they're treating veterans, you have grievances about ICE and how they're going about these deportations. They're doing these things that are completely illegal. Coming in unmarked cars without actual warrants. These people that are coming in, they're completely covered. Their faces are covered. They're hiding their badges so you can identify them. That just looks really, really shady. So I know we all have grievances, and there's, people that are against our continued contribution towards, what's happening in Gaza and Palestine. We have grievances for days, women's rights, bodily autonomy. There's so many different causes, but they all fall under our democracy and the rights that we have expected as Americans to keep and maintain. So the American flag, we need to reclaim it as ours and remind everyone that we are the patriots that are standing up for what this country should be. And here's a bonus. After the protest, gather, sing, pray, break bread, listen to stories, exchange information with people that you have encountered that are like-minded, create community, because community is what fuels movements that endure. Okay? If you're planning to attend or organize a protest, please review these guidelines, share them with your people, assign roles, prepare ahead of time, and never forget the lesson of the civil rights movement. It was their discipline that earned the nation's respect. So if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Now, let's do a little exercise because there's a lot of energy behind this. There's a lot of fear going on out there about what might happen with good cause, good reason. I think the government is getting ready to create chaos and fan the flames of discord. And so there's definitely a lot of that energy in the air. But I think one of the things that's going to be really important is even before you head out to go and protest, make sure that you self-regulate. Take a few minutes to just place your hand in your chest, feel your heartbeat, and just breathe in. Exhale. Inhale again. And just like self-regulate, just calm yourself down before you get there. And repeat after me. I move with purpose. I protect the message. I honor the movement. I move with purpose. I protect the message. I honor the movement. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Be careful this weekend. Stay safe. Stay engaged. And until the next time, this is When the Shift Hits. Please subscribe, like, and share. Share this video with as many people as possible so that they know what to do, so that they can be prepared, okay? Sending you lots of love, lots of gratitude for your participation in protecting and securing our democracy. And I'm just proud to be an American today. So thank you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And remember that the shift starts with you, because when you shift, so does everything around you.